Hello, hello. I'm Nadia Jordana, and this is Where Women Talk. My guest today is Regina Noel Downing. She's a children's author. She lives in Iowa, and she has a background in music. Let's go talk to Regina and find out more. Regina, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I've been just dying to meet you for ages now, so this is really a pleasure for me.
Well, it's fun for me too, so that makes two of us. Let me ask you, you have a background in music and you've written a children's book. How did you bring those two things together, and what was the spark of inspiration?
Well, so I have my own music studio. I teach piano, ukulele, and voice, and I have all ages. I have my youngest student is 3.5, and I have several adults in their 60s. So I have the whole array. And I have two children myself. They are now 10 and 11. So I would say I'm most passionate about, well, I like all people. I do it all. But I really have a heart for that that have very small children, because there's a lot of talk about supporting children and how valuable that is, but I feel like sometimes the parents and the caregivers get sort of missed. Like, yes, there's resources available, but when we're talking about the care of a child and the development of a child, we also have to talk about the parents and caregivers. So in my studio, I really focus on being at level with my students wherever they are, and that's how I get the best results. That's when they seem to be open and pliable to learning. So now with my own children, we've done music with them off and on, but they don't, my son doesn't particularly like it. My daughter does, but she doesn't necessarily like working with me anymore. So I've always been trying to find ways for them to be engaged in music, because it's such a part of our life. You don't have to take lessons and be the perfect musician. It's just, music is everywhere. It's the one language that we all speak. So one day my son was super upset about something, and I cannot remember what. I just remembered that I really wanted to connect with him, and he wouldn't let me. He was just throwing his fit or whatever, and he wouldn't let me in. And so I just, out of desperation, I just started singing. I just started singing, and I just made up something on the fly. Parents sometimes do that. They make up little ditties to get their kids motivated to do this or that. And it was kind of that kind of thing. So I just started singing, and before long, we were tickling and laughing and snuggling, and the world was right again.
Well, that was the perfect way to handle that. Tell me, Regina, when you just got your book in hand for the first time not long ago, what was that feeling like, and how did your children react to that?
It was awesome. Like, I darn near cried. It's just a lot of, blood, sweat, and tears went into that. And yeah, hours and people involved. And it's just amazing to see it, like, actually in your hand, and it's a real thing. And my whole family was just really supportive. My kids, just Charlie, my son, he's on the cover of it. The illustrator, based that character off of my son. So he's like, I'm in a book. And I dedicated it to them. And so they just think it's really neat. And last night when I was putting them to bed, my son said to me, I'm so proud of you. And he's like 10. I'm like, oh.
Oh, that's such a wonderful thing to hear from your children.
Yeah.
Well, in the with your purpose for the book, what would you like to see parents and children alike get out of the book?
Well, it's really kind of the ultimate tool, shall I say, for connecting, for to help families connect when kids are having a hard time or a rough day, or they're sad and they just don't know what to do. I think even as adults, we're sometimes at a loss of what to do when we experience these things in our lives. But at the core of it all, I really think what we want is to be connected, and we just don't always know how to do that. So this book is like the ultimate tool for parents and caregivers to do that. So it's got, the story can be read, it can be sung, of course, the beautiful illustrations, and it's written, like I said, it was the song I wrote for my son. So it's written to have all of those components to really help a parent or caregiver connect, like the important things: physical touch, a snuggle. I mean, give a little snuggle. We don't always get the value in a snuggle, the value of a snuggle, and it's super, super important for children. It takes 8 hugs a day for general maintenance, emotional and development. And I think it's 12 hugs for growth, right? So hugging is super important. And through this whole pandemic, we haven't really been able to do all of that, but we can do it for our immediate family and our isolation group. And there's so much calm that comes with that. I mean, physiologically, heart rates decrease. The love hormone is sent out. All good things happen with a snuggle. And there's even a little teaching component in the beginning for parents and caregivers, so they really understand the significance of that and why it's important, and not to be sort of him-hawed over, but children especially really, really need that. It's crucial to their growth and who they are as individuals. So that's what I really want parents to get. And then, of course, the song at the end, the sheet music is in there, so you can take it a step further, and so kids will catch on quickly, and it'll even be a way for them to say, "Hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I need a snuggle."
Oh,
They can just sing it. It's just an easy way for everybody to help be connected when it's not so easy to be connected.
That's so sweet. And do you have the book right next to you? If not, I'll put it up on the screen. We want to see that. Give a little snuggle. The name is just so cozy. I mean, it just makes you want to reach out and take the book home for your family.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Do you think, I can't imagine this is going to be your only book. Do you have some other books in mind, or are you going to wait for that inspiration?
I have 5 that are ready to go, but it takes time. It takes time, and there's lots of moving parts. And the next one is on the schedule for a November release. It's a bit of a Fred Rogers tribute, but we have lots of things to work out to pull it all together. But it will also be this, like a story song book with sheet music and a teaching component for caregivers. So that's sort of the goal. Like, I have a series that is revolves around like big family issues. So there's one for like your partner, so they're like a storybook for adults too, for your partner, saying just how you really feel about them, and how sometimes you just get a little edgy because you really care and you're really afraid to not have them there, right? So those
adults love storybooks.
Yes. So it's those hard things that we don't always know how to communicate, and I'm trying to make an easy, tangible way for people to communicate those hard things and really be connected on a really intimate level, right? because I just think that's, at the end of the day, I really think that's just all any of us want.
Well, I agree with you 100%, and I'm so excited there's going to be more books. By Christmas, you'll have 2 on the market, and that's going to be incredible. So, and next year, probably the other 3. But I was going to ask you, do you have anything that I haven't asked you that you want to be sure that the audience will know?
So my sort of mission with this book and future books is really to have an impact on families, and just I can't express the significance of effective communication and and not being afraid to talk about the hard things, right?
And oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that's the sort of these books are designed to make those hard things a little easier to deal with, right?
Absolutely.
So I guess that's my mission.
And what about advice to other authors like yourself writing children's books and being young moms?
Oh my goodness. Pace yourself. It's a whirlwind. When I signed on with Fox Point Publishing, things happened super, super quick. And I was like, whoa, here we go. I was not really prepared for that. And I'm already busy. I run 2 other businesses and I'm homeschooling my kids. And so now we throw in a 3rd business. Here we go. So what I learned, because at first I was like, I need to do everything right now. And I got that the to-do list is never going to be done. There will always be more things. So just pace yourself, make your list, do what you can do in a day, and don't stress over it. And then the other thing would just be like, don't get afraid and give up when it gets hard, because life is like never a straight path, right? And if you focus on all the little bumps along the way, you'll never get to your final destination. You'll never reach your goal. So, keep your eyes on the goal. And when things come up, then you have energy to be creative and deal with whatever the bumps in the road may be. Whereas if you get frustrated and give up, that's just it. When you're frustrated, you don't have anything to work with.
Oh, that is so true. Regina, you are so wonderful. And we finally ran out of time, but we got a lot of good information from you about those books. And Give a Little Snuggle is the name of the book. And I'm sure that the world is going to hear a lot more from you.
Yes.
Thanks for being on the show today. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time with a brand new guest.